Hello, this is Dr. Victoria Scarbo speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. And I want to speak to you about a reading I saw on Lena Down Under's YouTube channel. She asked the question how Trump felt about these bombs, and the cards that she pulled up sort of shook me to my core. And I had a moment where I had some maybe clarity that I didn't really want to have. So so I thought what I would do is I would also ask that question and see what comes up for me. Now I'll say that I think it's better in a way to be further away from the issue when you're reading the issue. So for all the readers in America, and especially those who have a liberal leanings, it is not easy to do these readings. It's not easy to do them and be nonpartisan. I keep getting called out for that, but it's who you are, and the reader is a conduit of the energies, and you're always going to have some influence over how you tarot is interpretive, and so you're interpreting it from your own eyes, although I do try to stay in my heart, and I do try to come into it with a sense of purity of heart, I would say, which when you're dealing with some of these issues and some of these people, I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but it is what it is, and that's who I am, and I'm not going to change. So, well, at least I don't think I'm going to change. They're always changing, right? Okay, so I have a couple of crystals around me, which I don't usually put around me when I'm doing a reading, but this is particularly potent. I have some. We have a heart of moss agate. Moss agate to me is very much connected to Taurus. I find it grounding yet loving and soft and gentle and connected to the earth. Have some seraphinite. I don't know if you see, there's a theme going on here. It's called green. Heart chakra, healing stone, very, very powerful. Some green tourmaline. Okay. This is rainbow obsidian. You can't really see the rainbow in it. You'd have to get right up on top of it. Obsidian makes us face things, but the rainbow is softer than, say, the silver sheen or the gold sheen obsidian, which I also have, but I don't have it here. And then to charge everything up, I have a lovely Herkimer diamond, double tourmalated crystal, quartz crystal, sort of what he calls the energy, right? Amplifies. So I want to ask how Trump is feeling about this whole bomb situation. And I'll do a modified Celtic cross and see if we need to move into a full Celtic cross. Okay, so I've been shuffling this whole time. I'm going to put this down. I'll use the Rider-Waite just like Lena did. The readers online are pretty good. Lena is one of my favorite. I love the Empress. Linda G cracks me up. She doesn't show her cards, which is fine. It's not. She does what she does, and I love her for it. Lena's very instructive, which I like because I always learn something from Lena. And I watch Violetta. She's sweet. And there's somebody else I watch. She's also from either, she has an Australian accent. I can't think of who it is, but you guys probably know who she is. She's also very good. Okay. So this is how Trump is feeling about these bombs to the Democrats. Okay. This is the Ace of Pentacles. The aces are always the start of something, a start of a project. It is the Ace of Earth, and so it's about the start of a project. The aces in the Kabbalah are all found in the place at the top of the tree, Kether. It's the place of beginnings and origins, and so this seems like it's the beginning of something. Let's see what crosses. Okay, we have this. Okay, so we have the Nine of Pentacles. The first thing I thought of when I saw this card was Ivanka. So I'm just going to leave it there and see what else comes up. This card oftentimes comes to me as Trump. The Nine of Cups. At the root of this, it's a wish card. He's self-satisfied. On some level, he was wishing for this. Now, I know what I'm saying, so, and even though I don't agree with Trump, I did never want to go there, okay, just so you know. In the past, we have the moon, the emotions up and down, hidden things, things that are hidden. Obviously, this was a hidden thing. We have the Emperor up top, and let's see, and the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords here, this is Trump, okay? So, on a certain level, he feels empowered by this whole situation. And then we have the King of Swords in the future. Now, this could be, this often comes up as Robert Mueller, the sword of justice. Although it's possible that Trump sees himself as the sword of justice. Like his word is the word and the sword comes down. Unlike the Starks of Winterfell, he who passes judgment wields the sword. Trump wouldn't do that. He'd pass judgment and get some other lackey to do it. Okay. All right, let's see. I'm going to continue how other people see this. This is the Queen of Swords. We have the King and Queen of Swords. People are not happy. Women are very upset and very angry. They want justice. The women want justice. Domestic situation. The Five of Wands. This is lots of arguments. This is just, the energy is just, and lots of arguments, philosophical arguments. It's fire. Wands are fire. Wands are, what you believe. So this is a clash in beliefs. So we have, of course, the both sides clashing with each other. Okay. Hopes and fears. Hopes and fears, the King of Wands, which sometimes also is Trump. The King of Wands is a king that's ruling, but is always like looking for the next thing, looking for the next adventure. He's an opportunistic king. And so perhaps the fear is that he sees this as an opportunity for him. And the hope for some is that he sees this as an opportunity for him. And the World card. So this is the world is about endings and beginnings. The month of October, this was the card, the world, endings and beginnings. And so this could indicate that this is the end for him. But with an end is a new beginning. And I guess the question is, what do we want that new beginning to be? What do we want that new beginning to be? So let's look underneath, and we have the Six of Cups. This is childhood. And Trump, for the most part, is a bully. And bullies become bullies because they were bullied. And I feel like this whole thing is part of his growing up. from what I know, which isn't all that much, but I know some of his biography, his father was pretty tough and pretty rough on him. Did not appreciate sensitivity. He had a brother who was, an older brother, I believe, who was much more sensitive and ended up dying of alcoholism, probably because he couldn't deal with the pain and the disappointment of his father. And so Donald came in and became the apple of his father's eye, and the monster to Frankenstein, I guess. Frankenstein trumped there. All right, so I am going to look at this new beginning. What is the possibility of a new beginning here? And I'm going to leave this here, and I'm going to grab another deck of cards. And I'll use the fountain deck, just because it's close by. Okay. So I'm going to use this deck. So this is the question, what is the new beginning? Show me what's the new beginning. So is this the end of the end, or the beginning of the end, or the beginning of the beginning? You know, how we interact with the energy is what we're co-creating with the universe. So I'm asking this question, but really the answer is up to us. How are we going to co-create? Are we going to get caught in fear? Are we going to continue to fight each other, or are we going to unify and save this country? Because a house divided between itself cannot stand. And I'm sure there are many rich people out there who would love to have the United States military and not a peep from the United States citizenry. Okay. So this is to clarify this world card. So we have the Hierophant opening the box. You know, it's funny, this guy looks like Kosoji. And when I was looking at Lena's cards, the sacrifice of Kosoji by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, and I know this is like out of this reading, or maybe not, it's all connected. When you do something to somebody like that, it's almost like a satanic ritual where you kill something, and there's a lot of power in that. Of course, it's negative and it's darkness. So the box has been opened. Now, this doesn't necessarily, I'm not necessarily saying this box that's being opened by the Hierophant here is a box of evil. I'm saying that we have opened a box. A box has been opened, and we can see there's, like, you know, of course a box has a square. We have that square in the heavens now, with Uranus square the nodes and Venus retrograde square the nodes, really coming to understand what's important to us. Venus retrograde square the nodes, the resolution node for that is the North Node in Leo. We need to move in the direction of our heart. The resolution node for the Uranus square the nodes is to go back to the past and look at the trauma and release it. Release it, let it go. No longer be dissociated. We can't be dissociated from the trauma that we experience and the trauma that we cause all over the world. We have to be aware of what we're doing. We can't just sit on our haunches and say America is exceptional and America is this and America is the land of the free and the home of the brave, when we're doing terrible things to other people in other countries and sticking our nose where it doesn't belong. Pandora's box. Crossing card. Sorrow. The Five of Cups. People are very, very upset. There's a sense that we've lost a lot, and yet the Five of Cups talks about not looking at what we've lost, but looking at what we still have. So if you can see that card, okay, he's weeping over the cups in front of him that are spilled, but he has two cups behind him. So we need to look at what we still have. What are the rights that we still have? What is the power of change that we still have? not getting caught up in what we've lost. The Seven of Swords. This is an interesting card in this deck. I'll bring it up to the camera. We have 2 swords by themselves, and then there's 5 other swords, and somebody is moving the swords away. This is sometimes seen as underhandedness, but sometimes I see it as balancing the sides. You know, take all the extraneous swords away, and there are 2 swords there, right? There are 2 swords that, and so this is perhaps a fight between the light and the dark. And the thing is I'm not really a good and evil kind of person, because we live in a dual reality, and it's not that I don't believe in evil, but there is an understanding perhaps that you know, darkness is simply light. That, you know, darkness is brings contrast, and there's a purpose to the darkness. But this is, I think, an evening of the sides here. The new beginning. The past, we have love and hope and understanding. The Ace of Cups. It's hard to remember when that was, right? Up top, we have the King of Coins. King of Coins. I'm going to leave it and see what else comes up. We have the King of Wands. Okay, so we have 2 kings. I'm going to bring it over here. The 2 of Wands. Okay, so these 2 kings, this King of Coin could be seen as, you know, somebody with a lot of money manipulating, like the puppet master kind of idea. But I don't feel that's the case. I feel the new beginning has to do with responsible action. The King of Coins is connected to the sign of Capricorn. We have Saturn in Capricorn. Saturn was the key to the door created by the grand fixed cross in the sky. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my full moon in Taurus video. I explain it there. We need to be responsible in our actions. In the future, we need to have the King of Wands is also a king, also needs to be responsible, but also has to have an inspiration. It has to have a point of view. It has to have, you know, if you go by the Sibley chart, the United States is a Sagittarius rising chart. And so we need to have a dream. We need to have something to aspire to. And this is an opportunity for us to aspire to something better. Other people see how other people see the situation. The 2 of Wands. Here we have chopsticks, as I said in other readings, that you can't eat rice with 1 chopstick. America's only going to work if both sides work together. There's always going to be tension. There's always going to be there's always going to be duality. That's the nature of democracy. But if you're not working together, then the country will not work. The 8 of Wands, this is all new energy coming in, lots of new energy, and so it's important that we do be responsible. It's important that we do, we open our minds to the possibilities of something better, something greater, getting past this situation. Hopes and fears, the Ace of Wands, the hope that this is the beginning of something new. And there could be some people who fear that it is the beginning of something new, but that it's a negative thing. But I would say stay in the positive here. We're being warned against getting caught up in the sorrow and the loss. We need to be grateful for what we still have. We still have quite a bit. The 10 of Wands as an outcome. The 10 of Wands is about getting your shit together, quite honestly. Getting rid of the extraneous things. You have to be very... there's a lot of voices, and they can become confusing to people. The only voice that really counts is the voice within. And the voice within, that small, still voice, is connected to the Hierophant card. In the Kabbalah, this card is connected with the still, small voice within. In the study of the tarot, this is about the inner voice. And so we need to listen to the inner voice. All the outer stuff, we need to sort of quiet the outside and listen to the inside. See if we can get a major arcana, the Ten of Cups. Oh, that's nice. The Four of Swords, which is rest. The Nine of Wands. And the Six of Coins. Okay, so this is at the bottom of the deck. The Six of Coins is about charity. It's about community. It's about taking care of those who have less and building a solid community based on fairness. The Six of Coins is in the Tree of Life is in Tiphereth. Tiphereth is connected to the heart chakra. And so this is about being in your heart. This is about taking care of your neighbor, not fighting with them. And so the new beginning can be a very, very positive experience. It's just going to take effort on our part. It's just going to take an opportunity for us. It's going to take a lot of work for us to focus on that which we want to bring in and not focus on the negative, which is easy enough because there's just so much pain in the world. And we get triggered, and they know that. And when I say they, I mean the people who want to utilize our energy against us and for their own good. The manipulators, the puppet masters. They're out there. And we are becoming more and more aware of them. It's not that I say that so that you can feel like you're a victim of that circumstance, but you have to look to see the power that you do have and utilize it. And power, as with anything, is an inside job. You have to feel the power within, you have to feel the love within before it can come without. And the greatest power that we have is the power of love. It's what keeps the atoms together, the power of love. The weak nuclear forces are the power of love. Unity is the power of love. And we are all in this together. So that is hopeful. As far as where we can go from here. And, okay, I'm going to bring you back up. Okay, I hope that was hopeful for you. It was hopeful and helpful for me. Please like and subscribe. Comment below. If you have any other questions or anything, put them down. If I can do a reading on them, I will. Have a great day. We're going to get through this. Peace out, folks. Peace out.